In my capacity as a consultant and coach, I talk a lot about the importance of having good self-awareness. So today, I want to dig a little bit deeper into what it means to be an insightfully aware leader and why that is important when it comes to communication. So 3 seconds is the amount of time it takes for someone to decide whether they believe you're confident, competent, and if they can trust you. That's incredible, right? So let's break down what happens in that short encounter. When we meet someone for the first time, we interact, verbal and non-verbal, and we communicate. And as we are communicating, almost half of that conversation is being interpreted by the unconscious part of our brain, which is of course filled with biases, preferences, likes, dislikes, and intuitions, while the conscious brain is taking care of the words, the body language, the posture, tonality, and so forth. So it's the unconscious part of our brain that is making assumptions and perceptions around confidence, competency, and first impressions. Now, effective leader communicators know this, and this is precisely why they are so finely attuned to how they need to show up in that first encounter, because they understand it's long-lasting and almost irreversible. So you might be asking yourself, how do I acquire this insight? How do I turn the unconscious into conscious? How do I ensure I understand my own biases and preferences better? And more importantly, how do I become an insightfully aware leader so I can communicate effectively? Well, the answer is simple. Gather information about yourself, others, the context of the situation, how you lead, and the purpose of your leadership, ideally every single day. Think about those consciously and take those insights to help guide you as you work through your leadership development. Insightful awareness is grounded in awareness. Awareness of the self, others, context, and purpose. And this is incredibly important, not just for leading, but for communicating. Then, leaders need to act, think, and communicate at 3 profound altitudes. And you've probably come across this. Leaders need to have the capacity to think at 50,000 feet, 50 feet, and 5 feet. And the trick is to not get stuck in one. So what do I mean by this? Well, when we think on a 50,000 foot level, we think about the vision. We have a holistic view of the organization and we have the outside world in mind and how it may impact the organization. When we're being asked to think at a 50-foot level, we are required to be tactical, day by day, week by week, month by month. We think about execution, implementation, goal setting, and making things happen. Lastly, we bring it down to 5-foot thinking, which is the self and connecting the self. Back up to 50 feet and how it connects to the tactical work that we do with our teams, and bringing that to the 50,000 feet where we think about the outside in and the future back. So Professor Woodward, who has been doing some research into this area, says that almost 70% of the leaders he works with experience what he calls altitude sickness. And this means that their brains are trapped at one of these altitudes and they don't connect to the other 2 levels. And as a result of this, they get trapped at either the tactical, where they're doing the same thing over and over again and they're being change resistant, or they're being deeply trapped at the 5-foot level with an unhealthy level of self-obsession. So I'm really curious to hear from you. What is it that you do to get insightfully aware? How do you ensure you grow daily to understand yourself better as a leader and communicator? I would love you to comment in the section below.